Brought to you by...
Ranging in prices from 99 cents and up. Authors receive 80% royalties instantly upon a sale. Reader and authors, don't miss our grand opening. eprintedbooks.com/store. Hey, it's Shaggy, and today is our first day of school. Well, not me. My first day of school was a very long time ago, but today is my daughter's first day of school. She's 5, entering into kindergarten, so I thought today I would turn it over to you, all the parents that have more success and, more experience. I would like to say I'm a successful parent, but more experience with this whole kid thing. What advice do you give your kids when they're going off to school for the first time? Now, I've had some great advice on my first day of school. In 7th grade, it came from Tweety Stewart, who set me down at the front of the class, even though I like to always be in the back, and said, "A winner never quits and a quitter never wins. Pay attention." And I did. I paid attention, and I kept that advice, and very good advice. From Hattie Leeper, otherwise known to the world as Chatty Hattie, my mentor, the one that got me into radio, the one that told me that even though I was probably one of the most disadvantaged students in her class, I was also the most advantaged students. Her words of advice is don't ever, ever, ever worry about how tall you are, how pretty you are, what color you are. At the end of the day, it all comes down to one thing, and that's the color gray. That brain between your ears will get you into more trouble and keep you out of more trouble than you could ever imagine it. So why don't you just take care of that and let the rest of the world sort itself out? Pretty good advice from Hattie Leeper, and I love her so much just because of that. My dad had some of the most killer words of advice when we moved from from one neighborhood to another, and I kind of encountered a little problem my first day of 2nd grade, but believe it or not, because of that day, I have some of the most killer advice ever from my dad. And why not? We'll share that in our last break here. What advice do you have for the kids? Do you have any advice at all for the kids? Going back to school, going off to college for the first time, or starting school, even the young kids? Well, let us know here in the comments section, or you can also do it by, Q103.com, Q103Maui.com, or Facebook.com/Q103 Hawaii. Just send them in to us and tell, in the subject line, put advice, okay? As for our advice is, Shaggy, shut up and finish the show. Reggae Fever from Steel Pulse Q103. It is the rhythm of the islands. It's Shaggy, and that's going to do it for me today. Getting ready to get up out of here, make room for Kamikaze, the workday kickoff, Tantra, and more. Before I hit the door, though, I thought I would share some last-minute advice that my dad gave me. See, back in 2nd grade, I moved from Gastonia to Bessemer City. And if you're from North Carolina, you know exactly how different Gastonia and Bessemer City are. Well, in Gastonia, we lived in a mixed community. And when we moved to Bessemer City, it was not so mixed. It was a little pale. I got picked on a lot because of my speech in school. And it really bothered me because they said I sounded like, I'm not going to use the word. But it's kind of a hurtful thing to say to somebody, especially when they don't know the definition of it. And seriously, I tried to figure out the definition all that day. I even looked it up in a dictionary and an encyclopedia. Could not find out what that word meant. So later that day, I asked my dad. And my dad looked at me like I had hit him in the head with a 2x4. But some of the greatest advice that he ever gave me about going to school or life in general, I got pretty much my first week of 2nd grade in a new school. His advice was, son, the Bible tells you not to judge, and I taught you not to judge. But if you ever have to judge somebody and make a judgment call about somebody, don't waste your time looking at the color of their skin. Look them dead in the eyes and see if you can see stupid in their head. Yeah, don't judge them by what they look like. Judge them by what they act like and how they hold themselves. My dad was a very, very smart dad. I hope I'm half as smart as that, because all I told my daughter on her first day of school was, honey, don't embarrass daddy. There you go. My father, 1. Me, 0. But if you got any sage advice for the kids, let us know. Q103 Hawaii on your Facebook page or Q103Maui.com. That's our website. Workday kickoff is coming up next. Till later. Love you, mean it. Get in, bye. I'm out. And that's going to do it for the show today. And yeah, my dad was probably one of the wisest men I had ever met. And that's some of the coolest advice I ever got. What's your advice? Leave it in the comments or go to our website, Q103Maui.com. Or you can also go to Facebook.com/Q103 Hawaii. In the meantime, I got to go make sure my daughter didn't do anything embarrassing on her first day of school. And that, she's being a good girl. Some sage advice from me is go visit eprintedbooks.com/store. They have a new books and more section, and they're the sponsor of today's video. Go by and find out, if you're an author, how you can be paid up to 80% royalty instantly. That's eprintedbooks.com/store.
Want to see more Q103?
Check out our Q blog on our website.
For extended artist interviews, behind-the-scenes videos, and more. Log on to Q103Maui.com today.
Don't